Hey guys, Sonic here. Sorry for that button. Let me fix that. Much better. Hey guys, Sonic here. And I am doing a reaction video to The Odd One Out. Yep. If you ever heard of him, if you never heard of him, go subscribe and check out his channel, please. He's really awesome, makes really good animations. So this might be a series from now on. So should we just get into it? Let's poetry.
Love being outside?
Oh my
Love saving
god!
money?
Don't
Well,
freaking
you're gonna
come
love
up.
Sierra Trading Post. It has the best.
I'll take school facts for 800, Alex. This is the most useless class that a person could take in school. Oh.
All of them.
Oh, man.
All of them.
What is poetry?
All of them.
I'm sorry, Jeff, but the correct answer is all of them.
I told you.
They're all useless. In my first
told
video,
you.
I didn't have enough time to say this, but I hate it when people are cool with their teachers. I understand that some teachers are more laid back than others, and sometimes they'll ask the class, so how was everyone's weekend? Then if you want to talk about something or have important news, then you can share it. My dog died.
Oh.
Yeah, they do that. But there's a
Oh,
line and you
that's
shouldn't
sad.
cross it. Don't talk to your teacher just to talk to them during class. I don't know how much of a problem this is in other places of the world, but sometimes there would be kids in my class that would say, "Hey Susan, how was your daughter's dance recital? Did you remember all of her moves?
What
I
the-
saw the video you posted on Facebook. It looked like she was having a fun time." Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Maybe I wouldn't have been a good
Oh my
teacher.
God.
Before I tell you about my poetry teacher, I need to tell you about the preparatory school I went to so you can better understand where I'm coming from. So I went to a preparatory school in 9th grade, and first off, what is a preparatory school?
Father.
Google says it's a private school that prepares students for college. Now, hearing that definition, you might think, wait, don't all schools prepare students for college?
Yeah.
Isn't that a school's job? And
Yeah.
you might think that a preparatory school is more fancy and made out of marble and all the kids come from rich families. No. What it means is that the schools get little government funding and parents have to pay for desks and a teacher's salary. I know different private schools will vary depending on how rich the parents are. I'm sure that school made out of marble exists somewhere, but the preparatory school I went to was relatively worse than a normal public school. The school I went to didn't even have desks. They had fold-up tables and the chairs were fold-up too.
Wow, this gonna suck.
Well, now I know where all the budget went. The main
Oh.
difference between a public school and
Me
a prep
too
school
now.
is that a prep school is smaller and there's a uniform and there's lockers. So, why did my
Yep.
twin sister and I attend a preparatory school? Because twins have superpowers and we need to go to a special school to enhance our abilities. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That'd be cool though. We went because when
I
we were
will go to
starting our
that school.
freshman year, our older brother was a
Real.
senior and he was already attending this preparatory
I would
school,
go to
and my
that
mom
school.
didn't want to have to drive to 2 high schools to pick us up. We already had a carpool in place. You can't just mess with the carpool. And me and my sister
Exactly,
didn't know what to
man.
expect from a public high school. We've never been. We thought we'd get bullied or something. Boy, I feel like picking on someone today.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, we can go to a prep school. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Well, the
Yeah.
carpool we had made it so we could arrive
Exactly.
at the school super early before everyone else, and we'd be picked up from the school super late.
Oh
And
my
also
God, I
because it
hate
was a
that.
prep
I just
school,
like-
they gave out
what-
a
I can't remember
stupid amount
this.
of homework. I remember breaking up the homework into pieces. Like, okay, I can do the geometry while I'm waiting for school to start. The biology homework I can do during geometry class, and I have choir after
I'm still
lunch, so I can
hearing
just do
this,
this
so I
during
can
lunch.
move faster.
Look at me being responsible. I have a little sister who just finished
Yeah.
her freshman year in a public high school, and she thinks it was so hard. Oh, you thought your 9th grade was hard? Try doing twice the amount of homework and wear the same pants every day. So now
Oh.
the only question remaining is, why did my older brother go to a prep school in the first place? Bro, why did you go to a prep school in the first place? IDK, just decided to. Just felt like I should. My mom reads my scripts, and she told me that he went to a prep school because one of his friends said that there were cute girls at the school, so he decided to stay there for 4 years. Okay, now let's talk about my poetry teacher. I'll call
I'm
him
done.
Mr. Poe.
Are you
Because that's
serious?
short for
I am done
Poe,
after that.
a tree. Poetry wasn't even an elective class.
You guys
Every
probably be
freshman
mad
was
if I
required
stop
to
the
take it,
video.
and surprisingly,
Then I'll
poetry was
troll
only the
recording
second
continue
most
this.
useless class you took
I'm
in
not
the
gonna do
school. The sophomores took a class on Latin. You know, that dead language that no one speaks.
Hey,
So
Batman!
I don't want to judge him too hard. I don't know how he was like outside of school, but just picking up the vibes I got from him as a 14-year-old, I think it was depressed.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, anyone
Well,
who likes
all of it's
poetry
depressing
probably has something
times.
wrong in their head. But Mr. Poe just seemed sad all the time. Every single day he would start the class by saying, "It's the best day ever." Which, if you think about it, saying that every day only means that the days are going to get better and better, which is sort of poetic. But I think Mr. Poe is lying to himself. Also, Mr. Poe
probably
really
has
liked
problems.
anacondas. I mean, snakes. He really likes snakes. Sometimes he would go off on tangents talking about snakes. Royal pythons, also called American ball python, got their name because they turn into a ball when they get nervous. Also, did you know that snakes have two... Never mind. Sometimes in class we'd be analyzing poetry, and Mr. Poe told us that every single word in a poem was important. The poet didn't have to use the word the, but they did.
Ew.
What did they mean? Sometimes we would spend days analyzing a single poem,
That
taking
is
notes and talking about what we thought the
disgusting.
poet meant. One time a poem we were reading had someone talking, there were quotation marks at the start of the sentence, but there weren't quotation marks at the end. The poet forgot to put end quotes. I remember noticing it and thinking, aha! A clue! Mr. Poe, I just made a breaking discovery. There's no end quotes here, meaning the whole rest of this poem is told by this character. And Mr. Poe said, "Oh no, that's just a typo." Well, frickin', why am I perfectly nitpicking this piece when the poet purposely put poor punctuation in his poems?
Exactly.
This is going to sound off
There.
topic, but do you guys know what lateral thinking puzzles are? Lateral thinking puzzles are sort of like riddles, but more stupid. You're given a strange situation with little information, and you have to ask the person who told you the puzzle yes or no questions to get the answer. My favorite lateral thinking puzzle is this because it's so stupid. A man goes into a restaurant, orders albatross, eats one bite, and then jumps off a bridge.
What?
Why? Now, normally, if
Why?
you were playing legitly, you would ask me yes or no questions like, was the man in a relationship? And I would answer them saying, well, not anymore. The explanation is this. I'm not going to read it out because it's super long and complicated, but you can read it if you want. Well, Mr. Poe also liked to tell these lateral thinking puzzles, but his solutions were more
did
dumber.
something.
One of the puzzles he told the class was, you're trapped in a restaurant, how do you get out? Now, I can think of like 5 solutions right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Get through the door, through
Yeah.
a window, use a
Yep.
crowbar if it's locked. There's probably a sharp knife to cut through a wall, or you can dig a hole under everything with a spoon. But it's
Yeah.
actually none of those answers. So, how do you get out of a restaurant you're trapped in? You get an education. Okay,
What?
let me explain. You're trapped in a restaurant because you're a waiter. That's your job. And to get out of the restaurant, you need to get a good education so you can get a better job. Kind of like how I was able to quit my job in the food industry by getting
Subway.
an education. It's funny because he dropped out of college. So the class got the answer to that riddle, but Mr. Poe told us another riddle and we never figured that one out. And that riddle is, anyone can dig a ditch, but it takes a real man to blank. Given that the answer to the first riddle was education, the answer to this could be anything. I really wanted to know the answer to this riddle, so I googled it hoping that Mr. Poe just stole it from the internet, and I found this song, anyone can dig a hole close enough to a ditch, but it takes a real man to call it home. Which sounds poetic enough. Let's see if the song gives us any more clues. Mr. Poe, I didn't know you were into this sort of stuff. So I wish I could give you the answer, but I don't have one. Feel free to guess what you think the answer is and give your reasoning in the comments. That'll be fun to read. But I will say the answer that I did come up with that I think makes the most sense. Anyone can dig a ditch, but it takes a real man to hide the body. Poetry was
True.
dumb, but at least I learned something. How to write haikus. Honestly, I'm glad I took a poetry class. At least it's not French. Mr. Poe, teacher, if you're somehow watching this, thanks for teaching me stuff. I need to give a big thanks to my friend
look at that
Cypherden who helped
picture. I
color
like
some of
it.
the pictures. She's a pretty cool dude. You should check her
Yeah,
out.
it's
I never
pretty
figured out the
cool.
solution to that riddle. I guess I'm not a real man. Mr. Poe, if you're watching, I'm sorry I called you depressed. You just always sounded tired and annoyed. Well, okay, I probably sounded exactly the same when I was in your
Yeah,
class.
don't even
Honestly,
try to
Mr.
hide
Poe
it.
was a great class, okay? It was way better than French. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm excited for VidCon, and I hope to see you there, and wear your seatbelt. That rhymes, sorta, and it's ironic, because this is about poetry.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Does. Yep. So that was the other ones out. One of his videos. This is all my first reaction. I kind of watched all the videos, but I'm gonna show you my reaction. I don't know. But if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment. That better be a good one, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. and we'll